he now feels liberated to speculate even more wildly about the origins of human civilization. He's on his way to see another promoter of unlikely ideas, Richard Hoagland, who believes that the Sphinx is linked to Mars.
Actually, Hoagland is looking for a connection between the landforms on Mars, which he is convinced are artificial, and I'm now becoming convinced that they are artificial, and the monuments of Egypt, specifically the pyramids and the Sphinx, and even more specifically the Sphinx and the pyramids.
Many people over the last 10 years that I've been working on this, innumerable people have said to me, you know, that kind of looks like the Sphinx in Egypt. Have you noticed the bars on the side, the headdress and all that?
Since 1984, Richard Hoagland, a former space scientist, has been studying landforms in a region of Mars called Cydonia. He's particularly excited by the supposed face formed by a large rock. He thinks its Neanderthal appearance is significant because, according to him, Martian contact with Earth might have happened at a time when the human race still retained more simian or monkey-like features.
It's very obvious that in the high sun angle that this looks very simian, particularly the left-hand side, the bulging chin, the lack of nose and all that, the heavy eyebrow ridges. Well, very late in this process, what we did is we did slices. We cut this thing right down the middle, all right, where the symmetry line is, right down from the forehead down the nose, and we brought the left half over to the right half, so you have two left halves, like mirror image symmetry. And we'll pause it there. Now you can see, if we had the right kind of lighting, would this thing look totally simian? Would it look like a primitive hominid ancestor of our own on Earth?
Okay, yes, I have a, it's not an objection, a serious question. See, this is done on a face that is deeply weathered. One side of the face looks as though it's much more severely damaged. You put them together and you see that there's symmetry, and you see, as you go through the thing yourself, that's a severely damaged face. And
no, it's not. No.
Well, look at the whole side of it has been blown away.
The right side is different than the left side. That's my thesis.
Well,
if it was severely weathered, the elements on Mars would have made it look less and less and less artificial, more fractal meaning like the rest of Mars. So the fact that it has this incredibly anomalous non-fractal signature argues to me that it's not severely weathered, and what you're seeing is an artifact of the limitations of our TV data, and when we get better data, it will meow at you, John. It is a simian feline image. The question is, by whom and for what purpose?
West isn't going to dismiss the idea of a Sphinx on Mars. It fits in with his belief that more advanced cultures than our own have existed.
If you could prove that there were artificial landforms on another planet, on Mars, that would totally disrupt our whole notion, not just of the evolution of civilization, but of the uniqueness of human beings on Earth. I mean, it would demonstrate the validity of ideas that were, until quite recently, totally the province of science fiction, and it would, I think, in and of itself, absolutely discredit the religious organization that I like to call the Church of Progress, that is behind our education in its entirety. In other words, it would upset an even bigger apple cart than anything that I might do, and since I delight in upsetting that particular apple cart, I would love to see it validated.
I don't think that once we get into that realm of science fiction, that Egyptologists are going to be in the least bit moved to pay any attention to it at all.
When John Anthony West starts talking about a Sphinx on Mars, or maybe some kind of connection between the Sphinx of Giza in Egypt and some kind of Martian Sphinx or the face on Mars, my involvement ends at that point, really.
I have to say, frankly, that I think he's gone beyond the stratosphere and beyond where I want to follow. And if West is right in that, more power to him. Maybe my children and grandchildren will be learning about the Martian colonization of Earth. But right now, I don't believe that with any degree of probability.
Whatever seemingly incredible belief he goes on to investigate next, it is to John West's credit that his theory of a Sphinx much older than the conventional date has survived the academic challenge.